In issue 70 of Old Bike Australasia that comes out in early January, you'll be able to read the story of a fairly unusual motorcycle race, the Australian Grand Prix, held right here in Florida Gardens on the Gold Coast. And it's unusual because there was basically nothing here at that point, 2 houses and a lot of sand. And we're now on what was the circuit. It's only about a mile around, and the spectators basically just wandered into the place and stood wherever they felt like it. This is part of the main straight, and just around this corner is where the start and finish was, right about here. So from the start, the field headed off down this long straight across down here, across Savoy Drive, and ends up in a fairly tight left-hand hairpin, which was seen as pretty exciting braking duels and where most of the spectators congregated. As you can see, there's a lot more than 2 houses here now. So we're heading down across Savoy Drive now into this hairpin. There was a lot of problems with this meeting in that being the first of the canal developments in the area, it was pretty rudimentary. The sand had been pumped into the place to sort of reclaim the swamp, and the roads were nothing more than spray sealed bitumen, and unfortunately within a few laps of practice they all started to come apart, and that caused quite a lot of grumbling. But it all went ahead, and the meeting drew quite a large spectator turnout, and the racing was pretty good. So this is the right-hander onto the western side of the circuit. A couple of fairly tight corners around this bit of it. This one would have been fairly quick in its day. Now we're sort of about halfway or more around the lap, heading back right up to the top end of the circuit on the road that would have taken you back into Service Paradise, Monaco Road. This, of course, wouldn't have had the centre strip in it in those days. Around this one here and into the final corner on the track, this left-hander which takes you onto a Lambie Avenue, which is the start and finish straight where we began our little journey. So that's it, a lap of the Australian Grand Prix circuit from 1959 at Florida Gardens on the Gold Coast.